Jonapod kívánok, Yuliya Novikova vagyok. 3 év magyarul tanulok, sajnos rosszul beszélem. Angolul nem baj. So yeah, I'm from Kaspersky, and today we will talk about dark map. Couple of words about me and my team. I'm a technical person, so I'm not a sales guy, and I have quite solid experience in practical cybersecurity. I participated in penetration testing project, security assessment project, but then my way turned to OSINT and threat intelligence area, and now I'm leading a team who is mostly involved in dark web monitoring and detecting the threats from cyber criminals on their resources. Yeah, this is just statistics about the volume of data that we receive daily, and also we do quite extensive research. I will share with you some insights from the customers today and insights from our researchers as well. First, I would like to start with the scheme that already was demonstrated by my Hungarian and Poland colleagues, that demonstrates the most common attack vector that customers or organizations may face. Essentially, that they will start to look inside the infrastructure on what has happened and what kind of incident it was, try to investigate it and continue the research. But also, we can take a look from the outside. For example, our incident response team, they did the research on the initial attack vectors they investigated last year. And the first place took the attacks, 39% of them, which started with the public exploitation of available service of available system. For that kind of an attack, it started with the network reconnaissance and then turned out to compromise the infrastructure. But at the same time, you can see that something was happening outside. So cyber criminals may discover exploit on dark web for this attack, and also after they obtain the access to the company, they may sell it on dark web resources. Example number 2, the second place from the incident response report was referred to attacks with the usage of valid credentials. Again, we may take a look outside where in which place they found this type of credentials, and dark web is also a source. If we will sum up the most common threats that governments, organizations may face if we speak about dark web, then I would split these types in 4 categories. So, cyber criminals may use compromised credentials from info-stealers. They may exchange them on dark web resources, sell them, buy them, and use for the successful attacks. They may sell access to company infrastructure. So in case their attack was successful, they may sell this kind of access for another person who will use it later. The third part is the sale of data breaches, sale of the compromised database itself. And finally, which is kinda outside, but still very interesting to control and monitor, is that dark web is also in place as a market for exploits, for instruments that cyber criminals may use for their attacks. Let's go one by one. I will try to entertain you with the examples from our job, from our real life, what we can say about these topics. So first, just as a background information, info-stealer is a piece of malware that targets the device, that infects the device. It can be a corporate device or even personal one. The only goal of this piece of malware is to steal the credentials from this device. It can work as a keylogger, or they can dump it from browser history. But finally, anything that will be related to sensitive information, payment data, credentials, I don't know, information about crypto wallets, will be packed in small files, transferred to command and control server of cybercriminals, and then they will sell these files as an item, as a product on the dark web. We did the analysis of the amount of such compromised system, amount of such sales, and discovered that last year there were around 20 million of infected devices worldwide. Also, we see that despite the fact that this is the malware that infects the device, the number of corporate users grow. It means that this malware managed to bypass the existing protection measures in these companies. It means that these measures are not enough for this malware to be able to steal the credentials. And the most worse in this situation is that based on the analyzed data from these 20 million devices, we saw that corporate users, they also became recompromised. It means that when the user was compromised for the first time, for example, all the processes, all the involved people, technologies, systems, they worked on the incident, they investigated, they removed the malware, and everything was fine, just around for 2-3 days. But then the employee, the person, did the same mistake and got recompromised again. I also have some numbers for Hungary. In Hungary, we saw 2 million of compromised credentials in main domain zone in the previous year. And Hungary also, in our own ranking, took 28th place among the domains with the largest number of compromised credentials. As you may understand, this domain can be used for very different systems, third-party resources, government public resources, or organizations, also public applications. Let's move on. Sales of access to company infrastructure. When we did the analysis of this area of attacks and this area of threats, we took just one dark web forum, grabbed all the messages that were posted there for all the time, for all the period, I don't know, approximately more than 5 years history of the forum. We calculated all the topics and on which area these topics were, and turned out that 5% of all the messages involving comments, reposts, I don't know, reactions from the users, so 5% of all the posts, they were about sale of access to the company infrastructure. It's a very big number. When we did the analysis of this offer, of this 5% of all the messages, we also grabbed some statistics. Around half of all the offers of sale of access to the company, they were cheaper than $1,000. So your iPhone or the same flagman device now is more expensive than access to the company. What do they offer for sale? In 75% cases, they sell access through RDP, Remote Desktop Protocol. But here on my examples, these are the real examples from the real forums, they sell just Python shell access and access through SSH, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they do not specify, but probably that will be SSH. Yeah, so in 75% cases, that will be access through RDP with different privileges. Domain admin, local admin, or regular user. It will also affect the price of such offer. Let's move to the next part, sales of data breaches. When we come closer to the analysis of such cases and when our customers, they ask us to investigate, like, guys, we see some post in social media or on a dark web resource or Telegram channel, whatever, please could you help us to verify if it's a real leakage or it's a spam or something else? then we always answer that there are three main types of possible files, possible data breaches published on dark web. The first one is the real breach from the company system, internal system, affecting employees, affecting financial information about partners, or I don't know, existing documents, so anything related to the company operations and anything that may pose serious reputational risks for them. The second type of a breach which may affect customers and clients, and here is the thing to verify, because sometimes it's a real leakage from internal system, or it can be just a parsed information from the public resources if there were misconfiguration on their public-facing applications. And the third type, the last one, this is the common folder for all miscellaneous databases. Combo list, generic leaks, or just some leaks combined by industry, combined by geolocation, something that cybercriminals may affect from old leakages, or just found on public sources and pretending that this was the real data breach. Here is an example from Etal Plaza data leakage. So the cyber criminals, they claim that they have full SQL dump of all Hungarian users. Very fresh leak took place in July this year, and they said that they have the full names, order history, or admin panel. By the way, the price is super low. Yeah, so around 4 million records on Hungarian users for just $400. So honestly, I don't believe that it was a real data leak. Maybe just a public campaign of this shopping center. Okay, also customers ask us what kind of threat may pose this kind of data breaches, because in modern system, in modern databases, all the records, they are hashed, so the only thing they may benefit is just the multiple lines with login names and hashed passwords, hashed sensitive data. So we did the research also in that area, and what we have discovered. When we did the analysis of all hashes that we saw in data breaches published on dark web, we checked them, so how fast they can be converted in clear text password, how many time it will take from cybercriminals to get the real passwords from stolen database with hashes. And it turned out that 59 of passwords, of all compromised passwords from all data breaches can be guessed with on-hand instruments, let's say so, just within 1 hour. It means that all the users that were in these databases, they use super weak, super, I don't know, weird passwords, super easy to guess. 57 of these passwords, they contained words from dictionary like admin, test, Kevin, love, and etc., the most common words that we use. And finally, only 20 of passwords, they were considered by us as a strong one, as a good passwords, that passwords generated, I don't know, with password manager solutions. The thing here is that cybercriminals, they also do not need to have any instruments. All the powers can be simply rented, so they don't need to buy a GPU or have their own setup for password breaking. They can just rent it as a public service, or even there is a service, all-in-one service for paid recovery lists. That's how it says. Very legal service that will help you to convert your hash to a real password just in a seconds for very small money. The quality of picture is not well, but I remember that it's cheaper than $1. Exploits market, okay. Let's move on. We also analyzed all the offers on dark web forums that were related with sale of exploits or any offers of selling vulnerabilities, 0 days and 1 days. Here you can see the volume, around 550 exploits we discovered, offers on sale of these exploits, we discovered on dark web for 2 years. And if we will convert this statistic, then monthly we saw around 26 offers of selling different types of exploits. We have calculated them, and here you see the statistics for 2 types of exploits offered on dark web. Most interesting and the most useful one for cyber criminals. The first one is a remote code execution, and the second one is a local privilege escalation. The only thing they needed, or just a combination of them. So the average price for RCE vulnerability is just around $100,000, and local privilege escalation is a bit cheaper. Despite the fact that you may think that it's a kind of very big money, I don't know, we can buy something valuable for that, from cyber criminal side, that can be just their monthly salary. So these numbers are not really high compared to the benefits, compared to the profits that cyber criminals will get from the successful attacks. Here are some real examples of the offers. So local privilege escalation exploit 1 day costed $13,000 for the full source code of exploit. And the second offer just hit the average price, $100,000 for remote code execution in Microsoft Office. And also both cyber criminals, they provided the full details about the vulnerability itself, and they said they will be ready to sell it through escrow service. So they are ready to sell it with the guarantee, third-party person or service who will help to secure this kind of deals, because it's a deal of very big money transfer. The question here is, who are the buyers? As I said, yeah, this is not a really expensive offer. This is the value for money. Who are the buyers here? APTs, advanced persistent threat groupings and the members of them, ransomware groups, experienced solo hackers, yeah, even individual can afford such kind of exploits. And finally, sponsored hacktivists. So these are types of cyber criminals who is the main business, who is the main goal is to run attacks consistently on, as you may imagine, mostly very companies with big revenue or governments. In response to these kind of researches, we decided to launch initiative in Kaspersky 3 years ago. Yeah. Once we detect more than 500,000 messages on dark web every day, we decided that we can start some kind of a volunteer initiative when, in case we see the offer on sale or something very critical that touches the company, which is not our customer, just a company from the outside. If we see an offer on dark web on this company, we decided that we will do our best, our sales, pre-sales guys, or all the involved teams, they will try to communicate with this company and deliver this information to them, just to share it for free. To demonstrate, first, that we are a cool company, of course, and the second is that there is a cyber criminal activity on this specific company on the dark web. And I also wanted to share the results of this initiative. As far as I remember, in total we sent around 200 cases, so around 200 incidents we reported to 200 companies. Again, these companies were not our customers. This was just our first touch with these companies. we used different sources to communicate with them. Sometimes it was just a post, I mean, in private messages, in LinkedIn or the same platforms, to find the person who will point us to the right one in the company. Okay, let's move to the results. This is the scheme demonstrating how the company reacted when we tried to communicate with them on that matter. As you may see, 42% of companies from the list, we found some contacts on LinkedIn, on public websites, I don't know, their press department. But when we ask a simple question, hello guys, we are from Kaspersky, we want to deliver something to your internal security team, they said, I don't know who it is. I don't know to whom I should report such incident. I don't know to whom person you want to speak. So I know nothing about the structure in my company. I understand that sometimes people can answer in that way intentionally, but I think that the majority of the person that we try to communicate with, they really just didn't know who is responsible for cybersecurity incidents in their companies. 6% of companies, we found them on a stage when they already were processing the incident or successfully closed it. So these are the really good case. And the others one, they were, you know, on this kind of psychological stages: acceptance, denial, reconstruction, anger, and all the same. So the reaction was really different, and only 22% of the companies, they were ready to, you know, communicate for free without any, I don't know how to say, requirements from their side, just to get the information and be ready to work on that.
What is the market?
All the, you know, telecom, enterprises, worldwide. So no specific regions. We reported, because, you know, in dark web there is no separation by the regions. It's also...
But you identified the target organization?
Yes, of course. We report it only to the organizations. We know to report whom. Yeah. The common question is what to do is who and whom is to blame. And of course, we do not the answer for the question who is responsible for incident handling in the company. Some employees also, they don't know so. And this is the question I think each company should took on the first place in the priority. But as a company, as a vendor, as a Kaspersky, we know how to help with the first question. What to do? Like, what are the steps? Okay, we have the responsible guys, we have the people, maybe we have some processes, but what we should do with this kind of incident, the external incident, when something maybe did not happen yet, but just in the plans, or will come to the reality in a couple of days. So we developed the free incidents playbook for companies worldwide. It's available. It's a PDF document that anyone can collect and use in their everyday operations, or integrate in the current operations, or at least share with the employees and their users to demonstrate them, okay guys, in case you will get a call from Yuliya, from Kaspersky about the threats from the dark web, follow these stages, so she will be happy and put you in the list of company in the reconstruction stage. Final advice here is that any types of the incident, even ones from dark web, there are still incident, and what we do with the incident is we try to shorten the time between the bad thing and our reaction on bad thing. So the faster we react, the more abilities we have to pass through this situation. Hope you will not face any incidents, at least today. És köszönöm szépen.